Hello and good evening, everyone. It is that time again, Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're going live on Source Radio Network on Healthy Living. So let's first share this. I pray you're all doing extremely well. Let's immediately share this on the other page and then call in to my beautiful dear friend Kathy B. And I hope you guys are ready for tonight's topic as we go on with the 10-week series regarding sex, intimacy, and Chinese medicine. Here we go, sharing this on the other page, and we are calling in to my sweet friend Kathy now. Here we go. Here we are.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show. You are now in the host.
Hello and good evening to all of you. Let me just say hi to some of you while we wait for Kathy to come on. Hello, Carla. Hello, Shukuru, you beautiful souls. Hello, Clarissa, Toya, Labrina, Margarita, Maria Teresa. You guys are amazing. Aw, Maria Teresa, I miss you. So looking forward to seeing you soon. Blessings to all of you. We're talking about a hot topic tonight. So you know what I would love? I would love that some of you keep on writing your comments in there. I'm able to see the screen a lot more clearly now. Facebook has done a bit of an update where we can now see kind of like your comments much easier on the screen, and I love that. So please comment throughout the show. This is a very spicy and kind of taboo series that we're doing right now. I feel so comfortable talking to my sweet and dear, one of my dearest best friends is Kathy B, the president and owner of Source Radio Network, and I love to get down and dirty and talk with her when it comes to health and sex and intimacy. And it's like a girls' lounge kind of thing that we're having here tonight, talking about intimacy and love and sex. And of course, please, men, come on in and participate as well. Ladies, I want to see some of your comments regarding this topic. It entails what a lot of people kind of keep behind closed doors as challenges with their sexuality, challenges with their reproductive system health. So as you know, I will always be blunt. I will always keep it where we're frank, and I'm not beating around the bush. Many people may want me to keep things private because they may feel that, you know, some of this information, it's not in their best interest for some people to heal, and for me, I do not believe in that. I will continue to do everything in my power to share the information that you need so that you achieve the health that you deserve. So
Welcome
here we
back,
go.
Source Nation.
Here we go.
You're listening live to Healthy Living with Dr. Julissa.
I'll be sipping on tea during the show to make sure the same thing doesn't happen from last time. I've been using my voice much lately with regards to talking to you beautiful souls and consults and Skyping, so I appreciate your patience with me.
Welcome back, Source Nation. Welcome back. You're listening live right here on Healthy Living. I am your host, Kathy B. We have about 55 minutes before we leave the live. The telephone number to reach us tonight is 619-924-0933. Again, 619-924-0933. 0933. I want to take a quick moment to thank some wonderful people, because I tell you, tonight's show would not be possible without them, and they are Zelina Health, Wellness, and Business, Pay for the Film Productions, Revolution Mills, and Innovations. I also want to thank some wonderful people right here at Source Radio Network. You guys did an amazing job tonight. Chef P, for more information on Kim and Celebrity Chef Joffrey, Javon, you guys can go out to Kathy B, Source Radio Network, as well as our main station page, Source Radio Network. And then, of course, our fitness specialist is Vita McKnight, right? Of course, all of her information and more can be found on Kathy B, Source Radio Network, as well as our main station page, Source Radio Network. Great workout tonight, Vita. Guys, check out that video, because I'm telling you, she's getting us right for the holidays. Even, yes. And then, of course, Clinton, thank you so much for coming in, transforming your mind with transformational coach Clinton McCoy. All of this information and more can be found on Kathy B, Source Radio Network, as well as our main station page, Source Radio Network. Well, you guys know what time it is. That's right. Dr. Julissa Hernandez is here in the studio with us. And, of course, we are continuing our 10-week series, and tonight, information is going to be on Principle 7 as well as Principle 8. And then, of course, just to give you a little bit of information on each of those, Principle 7 is all about the gentle and gradual time in intercourse. And then, of course, Principle 8 is enhancement of energy in daily life to ensure male erectile function. All of the information that Dr. Julissa and I have spoken on over the course of the 10-week series can be found actually out on Kathy B, Source Radio Network, as well as drjulissa.com. So that information is there. You guys can go back and take a look at the videos at your leisure, and then, of course, touch base with Dr. Julissa in reference to any questions. I do believe that Dr. Julissa is here in the studio. Dr. Julissa, hello. Welcome to Healthy Living. How are you?
Wonderful, dear. Wonderful, my sweet friend. Feeling good. It's been in the 50s here, in the New York City area, and it's been kind of like that light, cool, warm weather all at once, that cool breeze tickling our skin. Feels good. Mm-hmm. Feels good.
Mm-hmm. I know. And it's about 60, 65 here in North Carolina, and I am enjoying this weather. I really am. Well, I'm excited to have you here in the studio with us tonight, so thank you so much. Of course, I just shared with Source Nation that we will be continuing our 10-week series, and of course, tonight, 2 principles that we'll be focusing in on is Principle 7 and Principle 8. But before we do all of that, Dr. Julissa, if you will, please take an opportunity to introduce yourself to the Source Nation family, and we'll jump into our information from there.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you, my dear. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Julissa Hernandez, naturopathic doctor, practicing now for 22 plus years. I'm a teacher of natural medicine, a holistic iridologist, an international speaker of natural medicine, and am honored to also be a radio and television personality, honored to now be on this wonderful platform here with all of you, Source Radio family, Facebook family, as we discuss the topics that concern you. I'm honored to be on your wonderful radio show here, Kathy, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you again. Well, then, Source Nation, we are speaking with Dr. Julissa Hernandez, and then, of course, we're going to continue our 10-week series, and this is all about 10 important principles of sex through Chinese medicine. And tonight's conversation is on Principle 7 and Principle 8, gentle and gradual intercourse for Principle 7, Principle 8, enhancement of energy in daily life to ensure male erectile function. So let's jump right on in, Dr. Julissa, so we can give Source Nation and everyone listening tonight some great information. Now, the first principle here listed in your book, you mentioned gentle and gradual intercourse. Talk to us a little bit about that, and why was that so important to place in the book?
Well, that's exactly the 7th principle with regards to the preservation of life And that is one of those 10 important principles with regards to sex. Not to say that one cannot obviously enjoy maybe a more fast-paced moment of intimacy, maybe less than gentle moment of intimacy. But I did want to mention that as far as preservation of life goes, and regarding health and balance, with regards to what Chinese medicine teaches us, it is important to take into consideration that principle, where every moment, every second is actually precious. And so to take that moment of intercourse as something gentle and gradual, exactly the way it is described in the Preservation of Life 10 Principles with regards to Chinese medicine. That's exactly the way it's translated. Gentle and gradual intercourse, taking your time with each other, feeling each and every inch of each other in that moment of intimacy, of intercourse, and to take your time. It's something that is also considered within Chinese medicine to be a principle that is wonderful for enhancing the chances of conception as well. To take things slow so that things are not rushed and hurried, and the body responds one to the other in a more beautiful, loving way.
I love that. You know, as you were speaking on that, Dr. Julissa, thank you so much for sharing. I have gone back and thought about our conversations during the series and the things that you have stated. And I think it's so very important, just like you said, take your time. But I'm going to go back to my main thing that I truly believe in, which is being able to communicate. I think that is very important. Yes. Because not only that, you have to begin to listen to one another. Just as you said, you're concentrating on bringing a precious life into the world. And I think that when you are able to communicate, you have a stronger connection with one another. I definitely believe in speaking about, how you want to be loved and the different things that you like. So what are your thoughts on that? And is that very important in this case?
Well, I love what you said about communication. It should be to the point where you feel so open with your partner that you can share exactly what you desire to be touched like, what stimulates you the most, what ways you desire to be seduced. All of that is so very important that and things that I believe that definitely should be shared between you and your loving partner. If not, then how can you actually please each other? Know that as far as, for example, what Buddhism teaches. And here I'm quoting Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen Buddha master, who states that happiness cannot exist without also including making another happy. And when you make another person happy, when you are able to bring pleasure to another, that is part of our own happiness in life as humans. So very important. I love what you said about communicating all of that. It's absolutely part of that. Yes, I agree.
And I was actually reading a book, and of course, Source Nation, anything that we source here, I'll let you know exactly where you can go and find it. So it was just an excerpt of a book entitled "Yearning Desire for Intimacy and Fulfillment, Compassion" by Elder Johnson. And this is what he said in reference to gentle and gradual intercourse. Of course, what we just stated earlier says, don't always make it a rush job. See your sexual experiences involving the conversation, foreplay, orgasm, and after foreplay. He also stated that always keep in mind that your partner is made to enjoy a gentle, gradual process. And, of course, enjoying a gentle process enhances the arousal experience. Now, with that said, is that something that you're sharing with the couples also, Dr. Julissa? And it's something that is very important to you as well. What are your thoughts?
Yes, agreed. Whether I'm working with a couple who is trying to conceive, or I'm working with a couple that has come in because they are dealing with some sexual health challenges and intimacy challenges. I have had in the office a couple of times where they'll share that it's more like a chore, and it tends to become only the quote unquote quickies, and that it just happens too fast now, and they're not. This was, for example, a few years ago. I had a couple come in. They were in their late 50s that mentioned that now it's just quick, and it's just to get to that point of orgasm and they're done. And that whole intimacy part, that whole gradual, gentle part, I felt is what they were stating to me that was missing. And so, absolutely, I do feel that is something I've encountered a few times in the office with couples. And that's why I felt like putting that type of information so that they could have it in their hands to go back to and remember once again in my new book, that they would remember that this is part of what it is to be intimate, to be able to share with each other a beautiful moment like that. Has to be gentle and gradual at times. Not that they can't get frisky in other ways. Let's be real, but that is an important part that should never be shooed aside. No rushing all the time.
Wow, I love that. Now, I want to go back to something real quick because I just skimmed over a couple pages of the book, and he talks about if a couple has lost connection.
Okay.
They lost some form of connection in the bedroom, and they've really been trying to, in this case, conceive. What can you do? He stated that he's actually sat couples down and asked them to go back to the point of, and I'm speaking of married couples, Source Nation, go back to the point of when they decided to make this union one. When you both decided become a couple and said you want to get married and you're standing before God, why did that take place? He says because a lot of people or a lot of couples tend to lose sight because they're very busy with their work lives and other things that they have going on, that when they're in the bedroom, all of that comes to play. They connect to the bedroom and they can't focus on the intimacy part. So he says when a couple has lost connection, focus on why the union took place in the beginning, and that can ignite the intimacy that you should be having in the bedroom, and then perhaps be able to conceive. What are your thoughts about that? Because I think that is very interesting as well.
That sounds beautiful. I believe that bringing in God into it, if they are a religious or spiritual feeling couple, then most definitely. But I also want to remind everyone that love is God. And so when when we go back to remembering why you fell in love, how you fell in love, how that wooing, that courtship took place to the point where you both decided, yes, this is the right person for me. This is the person I can trust to be with, to be my open self with, to give my body to give my spirit to in love and in trust. For me, that is part of absolutely, like you're saying, bringing God in. Love is God. It can't be separate. And so, yes, if that is something that is prevalent between them, which is part of what I definitely talk to many couples about, if there is, for example, underlying negative emotions that are blocking them and so on and so forth. Part of that, and what you just said, talking with them, maybe one has to let go of resentments, maybe another has to let go of unresolved forgiveness issues. That process, I believe, is exactly what you just said, where they go back to the point of remembering why they created that oneness of becoming one as a couple. And that helps when they lift those walls, when they break down those walls and let go of those negative emotions or whatever may be blocking them from remembering what brought them together in the first place. Absolutely, conception is much easier. I've seen that time and time again. In 22 years of doing this, that's an absolute part of it. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yes.
Love that. I love that. Now let's talk about couples that when we talk about the fulfillment of of the sexual experience.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow it switches where one partner may have this feeling of, okay, I'm the one who wants to be pleased. I'm really not caring about your needs, which that's selfish enjoyment. What are your thoughts about that? And could that interfere in conception as well?
I'll tell you what came up for me once you said that. It is a few couples that I've had come into the office that have shared, for example, that that more often, unfortunately, the female has used sex as a punishment of not giving in when the person has wanted, when she's been angry or she's felt resentful. And then he feels resentful because if he is committed to this woman, that he then, if this is the one person that he can come to, that he can have this release with, that he can have this moment his and open up to in a physical way and so on, and she's rejecting him, that causes issues within the relationship. And it's understandable that if her feeling is not there for it, her body will not respond. Well, I don't believe in, and this is where I talk to them, in them allowing any of these underlying challenges of emotion or whatever it may be to prolong themselves to the point that this resentment builds in her or him, vice versa, whatever it may be. There's been cases where I've had the female tell me that he's not, I want it more because she's now in her sexual peak. She may be over 50, over 45, and a man's sexual peak tends to go down while a woman's tends to rise. And so that disproportion of what nature has created within us is something that tends to happen. But there you go. That's what came up for me when you said that it's sometimes used as a crutch, as a punishment to not give in when they have certain negative feelings towards them. And it's something that shouldn't be.
Wow. Great information, Dr. Julissa. Fortunately, you're listening live right here on Healthy Living. And of course, we are speaking with Dr. Julissa Hernandez. We are continuing our 10-week series of the 10 important principles of sex through Chinese medicine. And we just spoke on Principle 7, which is gentle and gradual intercourse. I want to transition, if I may, Dr. Julissa, over to Principle 8 while we still have a little time to discuss this. Now, Principle 8 is all about enhancement of energy in daily life to ensure male erectile function. Talk to us a little bit about Principle 8, Dr. Julissa, and how does that help in reference to
enhancing their sexual love life and enhancing chances of conception. I would actually love to detail it and read it to your listening audience because I did want to become very detailed as far as that principle is concerned. And so when I discussed recommending things that are going to boost a man's energy so that he can respond sexually, so that he can perform in a strong way, and that a woman's energy also be balanced so that she can respond to her partner. When, for example, I'm recommending that they be intimate in those 9 days. Sometimes I've had a couple of couples tell me 9 days straight. You know, it sounds, I don't want them to think that it's a chore. I've had them think that maybe that might be something slightly stressful. Well, we know now that stress should be kept at bay because it affects our healthy physical balance and most definitely affects the health of the reproductive system. And for those of you following along, I'm referring to page 139 of my new book on Principle 8. However, to take advantage of strong male erection, a man should be stress-free, he should feel energized, and he should be rested. For this reason, I do tend to advise couples to avoid trying to be intimate after a long, very stressful day of work. I have had couples come in and tell me, you know, after coming in at 7 p.m., I'm just feeling exhausted. I can't right away feel like I'm going to immediately perform. I've been told by women that that's when she feels most exhausted and he's ready, or he's not ready and she's ready. And that disproportion tends to happen. So for less stress and a more energetic lovemaking, okay, I do recommend sometimes a certain time frame, and you want to work with what, for example, the body responds to the most. So here's, for example, a play out of how I recommend sometimes for couples to try and do it. Waking up, let's say, early and having sex in the wee morning hours. So here's the example. Say that you and your partner normally tend to wake up for work. 6:30 a.m. is the time that your alarm clocks tend to go off. Then how about trying this? Maybe setting an alarm clock, a very light sounding, sweet sounding, maybe very melodic musical tone that both of you enjoy. And setting that, for example, let's say 5 a.m. in that wee morning time, 5 a.m. or so, where both of you are already very rested, where you then sleepily begin to touch each other affectionately, begin to carry out in this dreamy time the moment of lovemaking, all of this pure sensuality emanating from both of your very souls. When you're finished being intimate and enjoying each other, drifting back to sleep, and then waking up for the day at that 6:30 a.m. alarm time. Why, for example, would this be very beneficial for a male as far as his erectile function? Well, when the man's body is at rest, aside from stress being taken out of the equation because you're both rested, a healthy man with healthy blood circulatory flow, he achieves his strongest erection in the mornings. A man tends to wake up erect. He tends to wake up at attention. In other words, like a soldier. And if he has a strong erection, it has been proven, as far as what Chinese medicine teaches us, that sex is much more pleasurable if a man has that strong erection. When a man is rested enough, he's stress-free. The strong erection during the days of what, let's say, a woman and man want to then try to conceive their baby, this improves their chances of conception. And just in general, whether you want to have a baby or not, sex is more enjoyable for both if the man has that strong erection. And it's best in the morning time when he's rested and the blood flow has achieved those extremities, head, hands, feet, and genital region. Kathy? Hello, Kathy? Oh, I think we've lost my friend here. Hello, Kathy? Let's see, I hope that she's still on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Kathy B, hello? I don't know what could have happened to her. Let's see. Hello, Kathy? Hello? Well, technical difficulties always tend to happen. Let's see if she's still on the line. Okay, so I'm told to keep talking as she comes back on the line. Okay, so once again, that's what is taught within the 10 preservation of life principles with regards to Chinese medicine. Principle 8 deals with that and how it is so very important for a man to feel that he has achieved a strong erection, and that in itself makes the moment of intimacy more pleasurable, not just for him, but for her as well. And as far as what Chinese medicine teaches us, the chances of conception tend to be quite higher when a man does have a strong erection. It improves the chances of conception. So for many of you that already do have my new book and you've been following along with us, it is the Naturopathic Approach to Fertility. The series that we are focusing on is the 10-week series focused on page 136 to 141. And this is focused on the preservation prescriptions of life preservation, and they are the 10 important principles of sex with regards to Chinese medicine as well. Let's see, I feel like I've been told Kathy is back. Let's see. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Let's see. I feel like her producer has just told me she is back on the line. Okay, no, she's not been able to come back on the line as of yet. Okay, well, let me swing the comments back to the screen, and I did mention that I did want some of you to share, I guess, if you had any questions or so on. But please know that next week we will be focusing on Principle 9, which is going to be health benefits through proper intercourse. And that's going to be a very extensive principle that we're going to touch upon next week. I'll see you guys here live again on Source Radio Network at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week's Thursday. Blessings to all of you. I pray you all continue to have an amazing rest of your evening. And please know that you can also send in any of your questions, any topics that you desire for Kathy and I to discuss. We do have 2 more weeks to go to close out this 10-week series regarding the prescriptions of life preservation and sex and Chinese medicine. But please know that you can send your questions into Facebook Messenger. I was told by her that you can send that through Facebook on Source Radio Network. And good night. Blessings to all of you. Take care. See you then.